Rashad, what's up, big fella? How we feeling, buddy?
What's going on, guys?
How you doing, brother?
Feeling good, feeling good.
Man, I like it. I like it. Boy, Eddie Pinheiro holding out. What a huge news day.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, right?
Are there any kickers even available? Like any free agent kickers right now? I don't think there are.
There's always kickers out
there's
there.
always
Are there any that are better than Pinheiro?
Yeah, I think that the one we got. I'm excited for the thicker kicker guy. We'll see.
The thicker kicker. I forgot about the thicker kicker. That's on me.
Yeah. I think well, I'll hold it. I don't know if we're gonna talk about it, but he might want to count his days if he's holding out for more money.
We'll bring it up. If only because it allows us to say the thicker kicker on the radio.
All right. What's his name, though?
I freaking know. It's the thicker kicker. I'll never call him anything else.
Shoot.
Rashad don't even know. If Rashad don't know, I'm off
Rashad's looking it up. Ain't nobody gonna know.
I forgot his name. My apologies. Shoot. Harrison Mevis.
All right, you will immediately.
I'm gonna ask him again in 10 minutes.
Yeah, you're gonna forget. We're all gonna forget. That's fine. If you wanted people to remember his name, he should lose weight. That's all I'm saying.
No, man, the thicker kicker, dude.
I know. I hope they
lose weight.
If he makes the team,
Let's be real. We all want him to be the guy. Right?
I want a thicker kicker shirt. I absolutely do. I don't know what that would look like, but I'm sure it'll be amazing. Actually, I think he already has those, doesn't he? I swore I saw those.
He would be smart to do that. Hope it's trademarked.
Get that NAO money, baby.
Yeah, he's got those out there. I thought so. I thought I had seen those. Doesn't look as it's like an 8-bit shirt. It's nice. It's like a throwback video game shirt. You can go a little bit later if you want.
It is Thursday morning. It is 8:40 in the morning, and at 8:40 in the morning on Thursday mornings, we head up the road to Charlotte, North Carolina, and welcome in one half of the Panther Nation podcast. He joins us every Thursday to talk Carolina Panther football. Rashad Beard in the house. What's up, big fella?
What's going on, guys? Happy to be here once again on another Thursday.
Yeah, man. Happy to have you back. Let's jump right in. Obviously, enormous news coming out of Charlotte, North Carolina. We got voluntary practices going on. We got Dave Canales out there. We got Dan Morgan out there making bites for us. We got Bryce Young out there giving us clips. And the only thing that anybody wants to be focused on, the only thing anybody wants to check in on, Rashad Beard, is Eddie Pinheiro out there trying to get some more money to kick for the Cats.
Yeah, Eddie Pinheiro is reportedly holding out, looking for another contract. That's the word on the street. I'm not too sure if this is going to work out too well for him. As we all know, we brought in Harrison Mevis, the thicker kicker, right? Who's going to be brought in to challenge Eddie Pinheiro throughout the offseason. And I don't envision us paying a kicker. I think he's getting paid $2.5 million. I think it's the 21st highest paid quarterback in the league. But with all of these other holdouts, you got some big names holding out, waiting on deals. You would think that, guys like Brandon Ayuk, Cam Hayward, CeeDee Lamb, and now we got Eddie Pinheiro throwing his name in the hat. So I don't know. I'm just going to work out for him.
I don't either, mainly because there's a legend in the making in Charlotte, North Carolina. There's a guy with the opportunity to become a folk hero across America. The thicker kicker, Rashad, what's his name?
Harrison Mevis.
He kept it
I
on
got
the
it.
screen.
No, he
he
just-
kept it on the screen.
He said it right at the beginning. He did. I mean, he didn't.
Travis, I got it. You tried to catch me, but I got it.
That's true.
You're supposed to wait like 5 to 10 minutes.
Nah.
Like, so near the end of the interview, you should.
Yeah, we'll check again at about 8:55 and see if Rashad's got that same energy. No, let's talk a little bit about what we're seeing out of the voluntary workouts. There's a conversation going on Reddit right now because there have been a couple of pictures of BY throwing the football that have dropped. Okay, now they say a picture sells 1,000 words, but also pictures can be misleading. In these pictures, my guy looks like maybe he hit the gym up a little bit during the offseason. He looks like maybe he was throwing some heavy stuff around a little bit during the preseason. Have you been able to confirm or deny that BY maybe put a couple of LBs on during the offseason?
I don't know. I've seen a few angles, one taken of last year, kind of with the same arm torque and pictures of comparing to the picture this year. And man, listen, I would hope that Bryce has been in the gym putting on a little weight. I would hope that that's the case. His arm does look a little bit more cut up. The word on the street is that his passes are a little zippier. In OTAs, that's a report. The reports that are out there. So I would hope that that's the case. I mean, but I'm not gonna, create this whole narrative that Bryce is now turned into the Hulk over one little picture. You know what I mean? So I would hope that he's gotten a little bigger, a little stronger. But I'm not gonna, dive too much into it.
Yeah, I've seen the one picture, and yeah, I mean, dude looks like a little more cut up, a little more chiseled up, and then I got to remind myself, like he's 5'10". Like anyway, he puts on a couple of pounds, and it's gonna look like a massive difference between 5'10" and 6'3". So I don't want to get too hyped up about it, but on the flip side, let's not pretend it wouldn't be a good thing, right? As long as it doesn't kill off the speed he's got, let's not pretend like that's not a good thing if he did.
Yeah, I mean, that's all good stuff. I mean, him putting on a couple pounds of muscle would be great. Obviously, getting that arm a little stronger, throwing those deep passes, that's been the biggest criticism of Bryce is can he throw the football deep? And I'm sure with the way his arm looks chiseled up in that picture, I'm sure he'll be able to throw it a little bit further. So I hope that's the case. But like I said, I got to see it. I'm not going to, dive too much into a picture and create a narrative that he's now, like I said, the next, Anthony Richardson or something like that, just because he's, put on a couple more pounds of weight. So we'll see. Only time will tell.
By the way, your boy David Newton of ESPN hyped him up in the tweet the other day as Bruce Young. And I just love that folks have decided to eat up that bigger Bryce is now Bruce. I'm all in on that meme forever.
Yeah, he always is known for a good typo or two. And one that has a lot of typos myself. I can't say I blame him, but you gotta proofread. You're working for ESPN, sir. So, do better.
I like it. All right. So Dave Canales came out earlier in the week and had a lot of good things to say about Bruce Young. He pointed out that the accuracy is there and he doesn't feel like he has to worry about ball placement, and that lets him dial in on making sure the footwork is good. That's something Lonzo's been concerned about, making sure the reads are good, because if I don't have to worry about accuracy, and on one hand, I'm like, yeah, dog, like he's an NFL quarterback. Like I should never have to worry about accuracy, but at the same time, sometimes you do. So to me, although he did not give us a lot, the fact that Canales was able to say, here's what we're working on, here's what we're dialing in on, at least makes him sound like he's got a plan, which at this point in Panther history, I appreciate.
Yeah, I think that all of what Canales is saying and all of what Bryce is saying, they're all on the same page. I feel like there's been a lot of talk about this offense and how it's dialed all the way back. It gives Bryce a few options. It peels back and makes it a lot easier for a quarterback. There's, a certain amount of formations and they run certain amount of plays out of those formations. It's not like this offense where you have to have a PhD to dissect and be able to learn. It's a simplified offense, which would allow Bryce to then focus on his footwork and getting those accurate passes out. So that's the word on the street. Like I said, we got to see it. But I love what's being said, especially from Bryce. If you listen to Bryce Young's press conference, it goes back to how I learned myself. Like I don't just tell me why I should do something, right? You have to give me, or don't just tell me how to do something. You got to tell me the why behind it, right? Give me why I'm doing it, and it'll make it click for me. And I think that's what Bryce is starting to understand and starting to hear from Canales. Hey, you got to fix this, but here's why you need to fix it. Here's how it connects. Here's how it's going to make you a better player. And I think that is what Bryce Young needs at this moment. He's got to unlearn a lot of what he's learned in the past. And I know that Bryce, he does not want to talk about the past. They'll try to bring up a lot. Hey, how does this compare to last year? And he will do his best to try to move on and say, hey, I'm focused on this year. But you can hear that if you listen to it and analyze what he's saying, you can hear the stark differences between last year's coaching staff and this year's coaching staff. So I love what I'm hearing so far, and so far so good.
Yeah, no, for sure. Agreed. And I think what I love about the take you just said is, like, let's be real. Bryce got drafted for two reasons. Number one is accuracy, and number two, the noggin, right? Like the fact that he can process quickly, understand, evaluate, make decisions. So I get that you want to start with a relatively basic offense that is a formation-based offense, but the reality here is, if with the new coaching staff and if all the thoughts about Canales are correct and he is a QB whisperer and you see BY starting to come along, that offense can be complicated. You can spice it up a little bit because BY's got that capacity. It's almost like, I hate to say it, like it's a walk before you run. We got to make sure you can drill down the basics. And once he shows he's got that, then you can spice it up. And it doesn't necessarily even have to be this year, right? Like nobody's expecting division title this year. So you can make this a progression working towards 2025. And based on what I'm hearing from Bryce as well, he's all hyped up about the new look Panthers and talking about we got some weapons in here. And I believe that you do. Man, like I know we got to wait until the fall to see it come to shape on a football field, but I got a lot of Cats fans who told me at the end of last year, I'm never getting optimistic again, who may be coming around on that a little bit.
Yeah, it's tough not to. I'm going to be honest, man, that with the moves they made, and like you said, you brought up the weapons, it's tough not to get excited. I find myself sometimes saying, hey, Rashad, you gotta don't project too much because you got a lot of people that listen to you. Like internally, I'm excited, but you gotta temper expectations. You don't want to mislead people because we're scarred, right? We're scarred Panthers fans. We've been down this road. We've gotten excited in the past. And then, we've been let down. So I'm trying to temper expectations, but it really is hard. You see Deontay Johnson out there. You see all the Xavier Legette's, Adam Thielen now, Jonathan Brooks, Chuba Hubbard, the improved offensive line. It's hard not to get excited. And again, the biggest step is that we've got a competent coaching staff, and it appears that Tepper's on board. He's not doing too much. And so, yeah, I think things are heading in the right direction. That's at this point. And like you said, we got to wait till the fall to see it. At this point in time, this is enough to get excited about and hope that we see things progress in the fall.
Rashad Beard from the Panther Nation podcast joins us every Thursday at 8:40 to talk a little Panther football with us from the rest of rookie camp. What can you give us that stuck out? I mean, did XL do anything that jumped out at you? Were the rookies that maybe made some noise? Like what over the last week and a half of rookie camp and now the start of voluntary practices have you noticed that's made an impression on you?
Yeah, nothing too much. There's not been too much from individual perspective. Just Jonathan Brooks, the guy we drafted, the running back we drafted out of Texas. He's progressing along with the ACL. Again, I've been on record saying we shouldn't expect too much from him this year. Jatavion Sanders, who we are all excited about, he's doing a fantastic job. He's progressing. But one guy that has getting a lot of hype in the Twitterverse has been Ian Thomas, and a guy that we haven't really not too big of fans. He's been around for a long time, and he hasn't really progressed too much. But in this offense, this tight end friendly offense, we've seen what Canales has done with tight ends in Tampa Bay. He's starting to progress, and word on the street, he's looking good out there. So I know we drafted Jatavion Sanders, but you may see a good dose of Ian Thomas the way things are going. So we haven't seen too much of other guys. Eddie Pinero obviously not showing up. That's kind of the biggest thing on the streets. But yeah, we just progressing, man. Not too much from individual perspective.
Deontay said Ian Thomas survived Rivera, Rule, Reich, and now Canales. He's the Teflon Don. Man, I like it. And for the record, like I've seen Ian Thomas. I like the guy. I think he's got it. I just think he's very moldable, and I think that's why he survived. But if Canales utilizes tight ends, and this is something I've said forever, I know I've kind of made a joke out of like, this is Bryce Young's rookie career for me, right? Or his rookie year for me. This is his rookie season as far as I'm concerned, because last year was a wash. It was a joke of a season. And to me, the philosophy I've always had is tight ends are a rookie quarterback's best friends. They should be heavily involved in the rotation. So if that's a guy who's jumping off the page involuntary workouts, and that translates to later on in August, September, when we start throwing the helmets on, that is one big improvement in one spot on the football field that honestly, we've made it this far and have not talked about yet. That might be a pleasant little surprise for the Panther offense.
Yeah, I still would like to see Jatavion Sanders. I think he offers a lot more in the passing game. But again, if Ian Thomas can become that true combo tight end, because he's a great blocker, nobody's ever questioned his blocking ability. It's always been the receiving aspect to his game. And if he can add that, it can become a true 1-2 punch between him and Jatavion Sanders. I still like Tommy Tremble a lot as well. The tight end room has a lot of promise. And like you said, the tight end is a rookie quarterback's best friend. And if we can get some good production, and we know for a fact that Canellis likes tight ends. We've seen it with Tampa Bay. We've seen it with even some of his usage in Seattle. We've seen it. So those tight ends have got to step up. And I've heard a lot from that. Even Bryce Young has mentioned the connection with that room and how they're getting better. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I like it. Rashad Beard from the Panther Nation podcast joins us every Thursday at 8:40 to talk Carolina Panther football. What you guys got coming up on the stream, man?
Nothing much going on, man. Just tracking, this Germany trip. The Germany trip's coming up for us. Trying to lock that one down, and then we're also tracking what's going on with the new practice field. Obviously, they've torn down the old practice field next to Bank of America Stadium. There's a big deal with the city council having to approve the new deal. So that's something that we're keeping an eye on. Hopefully it's ready for training camp. We all know that David Tepper has moved training camp from Spartanburg back to Charlotte, but there is no practice field for us to have training camp yet. So we'll see what happens there. I think that's going to be some exciting times. Can't wait for training camp, but nothing else going on with the channel. Just kind of following the news.
Y'all going over to Germany?
Yeah, we are. We are planning to go over to Germany. We're gonna do some PNP live out there. We've got some German fans have been in the chat and in the comments talking to us, and yeah, it's gonna be a blast. It's a bit expensive, but we're gonna make it happen. We're gonna make it happen for sure.
Like he hasn't been overseas.
Right.
I mean,
Fair enough. He'll just work it into the gig somehow. Hey, Rashad Beard, one more question before you go.
Yes, sir.
Don't look sideways. What's the name of the thicker kicker?
Harrison Mevis.
My man!
I got it. Good one. That was a good catch. You almost got me. That was a good one.
Rashad Beard from the Panther Nation podcast every Thursday morning at 8:40 here on the Rob Brown Show and the Fan Upstate. Appreciate you, big fella. Talk to you next week.
Absolutely, man. See you guys next week. Thank you.
You got it. Rashad Beard from the Panther Nation podcast again every Thursday. Why do I keep doing that? Every Thursday.
What word are you trying to say?
I keep wanting to go like every 8:40 on Thursdays because I'm an idiot. Like it
kind of works. I mean,
no, it's terrible. It's a terrible mistake, and it is what it is.
Yoda speak.
Rashad Beard joins us every Thursday at 8:40. Also, every Thursday at 9:20, which, and this is true, is 25 minutes from right now, the great one Lonzo runs us through Fight Club, where we talk about boxing, MMA, and professional wrestling. Of course, this week, bring out the streamers